Hi, my name is Karina Klabundi, and I'm an occupational therapy student. Today, I will be doing a video for a toy analysis for the game Cranium Hullabaloo. Occupational therapists work to help people of all different ages gain independence in their daily activities, their work, and the things that they love. They work with individuals that have physical, cognitive, sensory, and occupational impairments. For a child, their primary occupations are school, leisure, and play. In order for them to participate in these activities, they need to be able to process sensory information. To do so, they use sensory processing, which is how our bodies take in and process information in the environment. Some of these senses can be sight, smell, sound, and touch. Once sensory processing takes place, they are able to react appropriately to the sensory input so that they can participate in their daily activities. So the game I'm going to be analyzing today is Cranium Hullabaloo. This is a fun game for kids ages 4 to 10. It was created by Cranium Games and it can be found on eBay and Craigslist for $25. It's very durable. I think this one is one of the originals that came out in 2003, so at least 20 years old, and it still works just as great. So this game is super fun to play with kids that are very energetic and like to move around and dance. And it works on gross motor skills, body scheme, motor planning, visual scanning, and also auditory processing.
The first step of the game is to find a wide open area to place the console and pads. You will want to place the console in the center of the space and lay out the different pads haphazardly around it. Once the game is set up and the kids are ready, turn on the game and press the big red button. The console will then give directions on how the kids should move from pad to pad.
Move over to a yellow. Get on a square.
The kids will be instructed by the console to run, jump, skip, hop, or spin to the different pads until the console selects a special one. If a child lands on the special pad, they've won the game.
Freeze. Stay on that pad. Is anyone touching the trunk? If you are, you're a winner.
Some of the important skills required for this game are sensory, motor, cognitive, and social skills. And what I'm going to be doing is taking a deeper dive into why they're important and how our system works to make them happen. One of the systems that these kids will need to play this game is the auditory system, which takes in sound and auditory stimulus from our environment and interprets it. The players will need to listen to the device to determine what pad they need to go to and what action needs to be taken to move. They will process the auditory information and then move appropriately. Then they will use proprioception. The players will need to know where their body parts are so that they can accurately move to the next pad during the game. They will need to know where their limbs are in space while positioning themselves on the proper pad so that they can maintain balance and move smoothly and effectively. They will also need to use their visual system. They will use their visual system to scan their environment to find the properly shaped and colored pad when they are announced from the console. Finally, they will also use their vestibular system. When they turn their heads to determine where they are in space, the vestibular system will kick into action so that they can maintain their balance. One of the directions from the console calls for the players to spin while moving to the next pad. When they are done spinning, the vestibular system works so that they can understand where they are and maintain their balance and stay grounded on their pad. The next category of skills we will be talking about is motor skills. So, in order to participate in these games, kids will need to have gross motor skills. They will use the gross motor skills by using their large muscles in their torso, legs, arms, and other areas of their body to leap from pad to pad. Now, in order to activate these gross motor skills, kids will also need motor planning. They will need to plan out what motion they are going to be doing based on what they hear from the console. When the game tells them to hop, they need to be able to plan out the action and the steps to complete it. They will need to know to start by bending their knees, keeping their feet together, and then using their legs to push themselves up and off of the ground to move them forward to the next pad. Also, going along with this, they will definitely need to use coordination. This is very important for the players as they will need to move more than one part of the body at once, and they will need to coordinate those movements so that they can maintain balance and ensure that they move properly to the next pad. The next category of skills are cognitive skills. And in this category, there is problem solving and planning and prioritizing. Now, problem solving is very important as the players must be able to figure out how they will get from pad to pad without bumping into another player or losing their balance. They will actively problem solve to find the best path forward so that these things don't happen. This also plays into planning and prioritizing, as they must be able to plan their movements, but also prioritize which movements need to come first. So, for example, when they're hopping, they need to figure out which step needs to come first with hopping so that they don't fall over and lose their balance. This planning and prioritizing ensures that they have nice fluid motion and they don't miss any steps. The final category for this game is social skills. So, with social skills, the main thing that these kids are going to be working on is communication. And this will be very important for when the children are moving from pad to pad. There might be a time where two kids might want to choose the same pad and they need to communicate where they will be moving to and what they will do if they choose the same one. This will be very important for the kids. It'll help them keep calm, also talk through the problem, and help each other direct to where they need to go. If they both come to the same pad, they can help the other child find a new one or decide to move themselves. So it's very good for building that friendship and also that communication skill. Overall, Cranium Hullabaloo is a super fun game that can be played with either a larger group of kids or even just individually. It is a relatively safe game, but it is important to note that some of the pads can be a little bit slippery if they're not played on a carpeted area. So I would definitely suggest that you play on a carpeted space or you have some sort of non slip rug pad underneath of them so that they're less likely to slip underneath the children. It is also potential for the kids to run into each other. So before you start playing the game, just make sure that the kids are aware that as they get more excited, they might run into classmates and to watch out for other players. It is a super fun game and it is surprise full and energy high, and it can turn bouncing off the walls into bouncing across the room. And this game also works on so many different skills such as motor, cognitive, and social, and also incorporates a wide variety of the sensory systems, which will help these kids grow in their independence so that they can participate in their daily activities.